Hey, this is Dr. Sonia, and welcome back to Dr. Sonia TV and the Wisdom Vault. And today we're going to be talking about the 6 red flags to look out for in a relationship. Yes, I know, it's so good. I know you've been waiting on this. I wish someone would have been here to share with me when I was younger of how and what to look out for. So let's just jump right into it. The number one red flag, and they're not in a particular order, it's just my thoughts about what the red flags you should be looking for. Number one red flag is how they treat their parents. If you are dating someone, and I'll be honest, this one is for men and women, and for you to really think about, because I didn't just want to do this for women and men think like you're male bashing. I'm not. And I didn't want women to think, oh, but yeah. So we're going to use it for both. And number one is how they treat their parents. I know one of the things that I did early on, and because I was raised by a single mom, and if I was dating someone, most of the men that I dated, I'll be honest, were raised by single moms. And I paid very close attention of how they treated their mothers would be a great indication how they would treat me. If they were very disrespectful to their mother, guess what? They're not going to respect me as a woman. And that holds true, I would say, even to this day, in this day and age, of how do they treat their parents, their mom. Well, the other one, how do they treat their dad? You know, I hear the stories of, because I wasn't raised with my father being around, but I had friends, their dad was around, and let's truth be told, some of them were, they were very close to their fathers. And even to this day, I hear the stories of, you see the videos on social media, YouTube, like, hey, I'm treating my daughter like a princess, so some other guy can't take her to Miami and think he did something, which is great, right? But start thinking about, gentlemen, when you see her, how does she act? Does she have the expectation? And maybe, I don't have any girls, right? I have all sons. And so I'm very aware, and I've taught my boys about this when they go and they're dating someone. How does her father treat her? How much does she respect her father? Be a great indication of how she's going to respect you. But I also pay attention to if her dad spoiled her, and I'm not saying gave her the world, which is great, but I'm like, if she's had someone hand everything to her as a young woman, she's going to have potentially that same expectation when she comes into your life. Oh, I already know you don't like it. Go ahead, tear it up in a comment, but I'm standing whole and true to this because I've seen it. My sons, and who they're dating right now, have fathers in their life. But they have fathers in their life that are holding them accountable and for the things that they want in their life. And if they want something, they're being taught not to wait on a man to give you anything. But you start working on that now, so when he comes, he adds value to your life and you're not sitting back waiting on him to do everything. So start paying attention. Red flag. How does he treat his parents? If he treats them horribly, guess what? You're next. Next is, how do they spend their money? If they're out there just buying stuff and you don't see them talking about a budget, you don't see them really being cautious about what they spend per se, be very cognizant of that. And I will add to that, how do they spend your money? Okay. So gentlemen, yeah, let me talk to you for a second. If you're out on a date, and if she doesn't typically go to a Ruth Chris or some steakhouse or whatever the case may be, and now all of a sudden you want to take out on a date and that's where she wants to go, but she hasn't taken herself there, I would say that's a red flag. I would say start looking at what are the things that she was already doing for herself. When you come, it's just the norm for her. And it's not just, hey, I want to go eat red lobster. No, definitely not. But she wants to eat steak, and does she do that for herself once or twice a month or every week or whatever the case may be? So be cognizant. How do they spend their money, but how do they spend your money as well? Ladies, let's say you're in a relationship and you're very cognizant of when you go out on a date, that they don't always have to pay. Yes, let me lean back because you're going to be mad at me. Do I believe in every blue moon? At times, especially if you care for someone and you're seeing this person being a life partner per se. Do I see every blue moon not blue moon, let me take that back. Do I see that you participating in when you all go out to eat? Maybe it's his turn, maybe it's your turn. I know our mothers and all of that have taught us, especially in the certain religions about the man is a provider, he is all of that. I get it. Hey, if that's what you believe, but I think in this day and age, I think there should be a partnership in this. Not saying everything is paid by him, not saying everything is paid by you, but I believe there should be a partnership. And so how do they spend their money? And how do they spend your money is number 2. Number 3, intimacy. I don't mean just sex. I mean intimate. A red flag if they never want to hold your hand, if they never want to rub you on your back, if they never want to console you. And I know one of the biggest things that I had to deal with at this point in my life, years before I met my husband now, is that I have seen Black men not being emotional about anything because the world has told them they have to be hard. Now, you may not be in that culture, but I'm saying for what I saw, it was very challenging for me to be around a man of color because of some of the upbringing that they had. And so I was very much aware on how did they react. Now, did I want them to break down on everything and cry? Absolutely not. Did I want them to be very sensitive and empathetic and sympathetic to the things? Yes. But I needed him to really think about intimacy as well. And intimacy, as you know, is not just being in bed, having sex, doing all that. Intimacy starts in the morning saying good morning, texting and saying, hey, how's your day? And when it didn't go well, they pick up the phone. It's like, hey, I'm so sorry to hear that. You want to talk about it? Those things. If that's not happening, you're probably with someone who has not been taught that side of intimacy. They've been taught about sex, or they've learned sex, they've had enough of it, but they haven't been taught about intimacy. And that just not just true for men, it's also true for women. There are quite a few women out there that have not been in touch with their feminine side simply because of the life and the lifestyle that they had to be hard. And I get it, but that's not healthy. Next is another red flag is controlling your every move. Okay. You know, when we were younger and we were dating, let's say we were like 15, 16, maybe 18, it was so cute. He asked, where you going? Where you been? I've been thinking about you. I didn't know where you were. He's like, oh my gosh, he cares about me. Honey, can I tell you, in this day and age, some people have gone over and beyond. That's a red flag. They need to know your every move, where you are. It goes beyond just caring about you. Like, I know if I go to the store and I'm gone too long and my husband knows my routine, I'm gonna go get what I need. Unless I'm saying, hey, I'm going to the mall or whatever, and I don't come back for a while. Yeah, he's checking on me. But me leaving the house is like, where you at? What you doing? I just said I was going to the store. Why are you not back yet? It's only 11 minutes from here. What? That's a red flag. And you need to be aware. So it's cute at the beginning, but after a while, you're going to get to a place where you feel like you're very much control, someone controlling your every move. I lived that world, I'll be honest. And it was not good at the beginning. It was cute. Oh, they care about me. And then later I'm like, wait a minute, this is a lot more controlling by a person in my life. And so that's a red flag, whether it's a man or a woman. That is control, and that's not something of where you can live your life true to who you are. It's okay for people to care about you, but when they're controlling your every move, Houston, we don't have takeoff. And last but not least, the 6 red flags you should be aware of in your relationship is how they see their future. If you with someone, ask the question. Now you have to, in turn, have to have a vision for your future. And so if you're getting with someone, no, I just live from day to day. If that's how you move, great. But if it's not, you need to start asking, because you may find yourself doing more pushing, do this and do that. And sometimes it's needed in relationships, I'll be honest, but at some point in time, you have to take a step back and like, wait a minute. Are they going to be like this 3 years from now? Are they going to be like this 5 years from now? Am I going to have to be the one that encourages them on every single thing? That could be a possible red flag. Red flag. I want you to think about these and do an assessment of where you are right now on these red flags. And are you seeing any of these things? If so, pay attention to the red flags. Do not ignore them. I don't care how fine they are. I don't care how their hair flows. I don't have any hair, but you know, I don't care what they're driving. I don't care what they're doing. Ooh, I got a bonus. Can I do a bonus? Can I do a bonus? A bonus. How do they communicate with you? How do they communicate with you as it relates? I remember this one gentleman I was dating. Yeah, I'm doing flashbacks here. And it was great when we were together. But he would go, and for work he had to travel. And he said, oh, I'll just be gone for a week and I'll call you in between. And he'd be gone 3 weeks. No conversation, no nothing. I'm worried, sick. He's not answering his phone. And I quickly learned, because I had never dealt with that. As an adult, I've never really dealt with that. But after being married so long and going through a divorce and 10 years of out here in these single streets, right? I realized, whoa, what is this? And I had to come to grips with myself. He's not that into you as you're into him. Just say bye. And when I would do, he's like, no, it's not that. It's just like, I just finally got tired. If someone wants to be with you, red flag. If they're not communicating with you, what's going on, if they're gonna be away, they're definitely not into you. Those are the red flags that I can share with you. Adhere to them, take them on, pay attention, and let's see how great a relationship can and cannot be. This is Dr. Sonia. I'll see you on the next Wisdom Vault.